Everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on that thumbnail. Always showing up, showing your girl some love. Please make sure you're subscribed, like, comment, all that good stuff. You know, show your girl some love. I really do love the fact that I am growing, slowly but surely, but I am growing. So make sure you're subscribed, turn on those notification bells, all that good stuff, you guys. And let's get started with this review. So today we're going to talk about a new fragrance first, because I might as well just get this in, because this fragrance is going to be released at Sephora, I think worldwide on the 21st, and on the Sephora app on the 20th. But then we're going to talk about some powdery fragrances in my collection. I have absolutely been loving powdery fragrances. I was never a powdery fragrance girl, because I think one of my first experiences with powdery fragrance was not even back in the day. Actually, yeah, it was Donna Karan's Cashmere. Now, I did love her powdery fragrance, but there was a freshness to it. Fresh, musky, a little sweet. It wasn't that sickly powdery. But that and Donna Karan, the one in the golden black bottle, like 20-30 years ago, it was my signature scent. I worked at Macy's when I was 18 years old, 17 or 18, something like that. And I remember falling in love with Donna Karan, and that's when I was introduced to Issey Miyake. I think I was like 18 years old. You know, that was the only powdery scent that I've ever smelled. Now, you guys know that I was an iris hater, like, as of 2 years ago. I've been an iris lover, or a year and a half ago, I've been an iris lover, and I've been loving powdery, musky scents. But one scent that I can't stand is Narciso Rodriguez Poudre. Even though Narciso Rodriguez is my favorite designer fragrance house, I just cannot do Poudre. It just gives me like diaper vibes. You know, maybe it's just a little traumatic from changing thousands or hundreds of diapers in my life. I don't know, but it totally gives me diaper baby powder vibes, like warm diaper baby powder, like you're trying to cover up something with Narciso Rodriguez. So I'll pass on that one. I actually decluttered that one. I tried to wear it and I was like, oh, my friend was like, oh, you smell good, but I was a little nauseous with myself. So now I've got some powdery scents that are more of orris, frankincense, incense base. We're not going to talk about Delina X, because that was a super powdery scent, but everybody knows that. These have a lot of nuts: walnuts, hazelnuts, what other kind of nuts? Almonds. And some even have powdery notes, and they give you that. The almonds and the fragrance gives you that white, powdery, effervescent, very fresh, airy, musky like vibe. So I'm going to talk about some today, very briefly. Also, I want to talk about the new fragrance PHLUR that's coming out. Now, this is called, thank you PHLUR for sending this over. This is called Rose Whip, you guys. And yes, this was a love up on first sniff. Now, they did send over, I was so intrigued by the bottle. The bottle is black here, and let me just kind of read you briefly what it says. It says fragility and strength do have contradicted one another. Don't have to contradict one another. Girl, I need to go back to school, or guy. There is power in vulnerability and depth to femininity. Rose Whip is a delicate, powerful, and provocative scent that challenges the traditional ideas of a rose fragrance. A seductive blend of leathery, I don't get that, woods and florals. Rose Whip is enticing. Contradiction is an enticing contradiction that encourages you to own your own desires. And it does, and it's super sexy. I remember I took this to work a couple days ago and shared it with my coworkers. And one of them said, I really like the fragrance, but I think it's really sexy based on some of the rose fragrances that you bring. I was like, you know what, you're right, I could see that. So it says leathery something in here, so I'm not getting any leathery anything, thank goodness, because saffron sometimes gives you that leathery vibe. So in the olfactive family, it's considered a fruity floral. The top notes are pink pepper, black currant. Heart is rose, osmanthus, and nutmeg. The base is amber, cashmere, wood, and musk. Now, this fragrance, it is a beautiful, the one thing that I noticed with this fragrance, I noticed that this is the bottle. There's a travel that they sent me as well. I noticed that this fragrance had a beautiful musk. It was almost very luscious, very creamy, very smooth, you know. but it almost gives me kind of a little bit of a lychee vibe too, like a dull lychee vibe, but I think it's the juiciness from the black currant. But I literally get rose, a little spiciness, a little warm spiciness, rose, a creamy black currant. It's not super juicy. It's not, you know, overly sharp or anything. This fragrance is one of the creamiest, most luscious rose fragrances. Did I say sandalwood? Because I really get like a smooth, maybe it's the cashmere wood. I really get a smooth, creamy, like a butteriness, a buttery musk with rose and a beautiful fruity nuance to this fragrance. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I know you guys keep saying, yes, the Kayali Rose fragrance just came out. This is the bottle. Let me shine it up. I think this is the box was in French, I think. Yeah, I think it says, I think Fouette de Rose, which I believe on the other side it says Rose Whip, okay? So this is Rose Whip, a black bottle. PHLUR has a black bottle, okay? And I am loving it. Same heavy cap. But this rose, when you spray it, always love the atomizers, you know? Yeah, you get a little bit of a juicy, fruity, creamy, fresh, musky, lush rose, and it's a little woody. This is super sexy. It's a little dark, you know? It's very alluring, tantalizing. And for the price of tea in China, it's a winner, okay? I am loving this. I love Rose Whip, but this seems like I would wear this. You can wear this 365. Now, I did wear this on my skin and on my clothes. Now, on my clothes, it lasted about 8 hours. On my skin, so far, this fragrance has lasted about maybe 5 to 6 hours. So I wore it full body one day, and then I was testing it the other couple of days that I had it when I took it to work, just so that my coworkers could experience it as well. They experience everything, you guys, that I experienced. There's another new fragrance that I just got today, you all, and it's by Ellis Brooklyn. Oh my gosh, and it's going to be most amazing for summer. But y'all, it's such a creamy, fluffy, airy, musky rose. And it's very, like I said, it almost smells like a creamy cashmere wood. A fresh, you know, silky black currant, and a beautiful musk. The musk in here is musking, and I love it because it's not heavy on the rose. It smells like more of a pink rose, you know, than a deep, rich red rose. A pink rose with some beautiful, juicy black currant, musk, and some lush, creamy cashmere wood. And it's beautiful. Yes, it says nutmeg in here. I think it may add to the sweetness and a little bit of the spices, but it's not a super spicy rose. Does this give vibes of other things? Yeah, every other rose fragrance that has rose inside and some fruits, okay? But it's beautiful. But it definitely, I would say, I'm not going to say Delina, okay? I would say, I don't know, there's a rose fragrance that gives me similar vibes, but it's not as smooth and creamy as this one. Yeah, I love the musk and the cashmere wood in this fragrance. Anyway, Rose Rip, get your nose on it. So, the fragrances that we're going to be talking about today. If you know me and you've been watching this channel, and if you love a good powdery almond, powdery lemon, then you absolutely know that I love African Queen by the House of Jusette. This actually used to be my favorite gourmand, but now it is my favorite floral gourmand since I've gotten into floral gourmands. So it's a powdery lemon, a prominent powdery almond, some dusting of cacao, it's sweet vanilla, and it's a beautiful red rose. You guys, get your nose on African Queen, please. Like, I love this fragrance. This will always be in my collection. I've literally bought 4 backup bottles, and I've given all 4 of them away just so, because people smelled this on me and they wanted to experience the fragrance themselves. So I was super excited that they loved it. One guy, I think I've told this story before, his name is Justin. He took his girl, he's Filipino and his girlfriend is black. He said he took his girlfriend out on a date, and the first song he played for her was African Queen, and he wanted to get her a fragrance. I said, you know what, this is the perfect one. And my last bottle was at the house, so I ended up gifting that to him to give to his girlfriend. girlfriend, and she absolutely loved it. He smelled it first on me and was like, what do you have on? I said, oh, it's a fragrance called African Queen. And he was like, oh my gosh, there's a fragrance called African Queen? I said, yes. He said, that's the song I played for my girlfriend on the first day. I was like, what? So anyway, African Queen by the House of Jusset. Get your nose on it. It is still around and it still smells the same. My bottle is completely different. I do love the new bottles. So the next one we're going to talk about is Royal Crown. And this is Isabella. Now, people don't talk about Royal Crown anymore. I still love their bottles. I also have Alchemia, which is such a beautiful, peachy, sparkling rose fragrance with a little bit of oud. But this one right here, there's a bunch of like neroli. There's a lot of white florals in here. Neroli, tuberose, orange blossom. I think there's some lily of the valley in here as well. But it's a vanilla. There's some peaches in here, but it's not prominent. But it smells like powdery white florals with vanilla. And it almost gives you a little bit of a bubblegummy tuberose vibe that I absolutely love, you know? So Isabella, this was my very first Royal Crown because I was obsessed with a pink bottle. It almost gives like a little bit of a smoky vibe, but I think it's coming from the woods. I used to think this had like white tobacco in there, but I think it's just the woodiness. It's so good. If you like fragrances like, I don't know what was out first, but this is gotten sweeter and sweeter. So almost like a Love Don't Be Shy mixed with a Centra, mixed with like a white tobacco nuance, you know, powdery. It's gorgeous. Get your nose on this baby right here. And Isabella by Royal Crown. So the next one we're going to talk about is a newbie to the bunch, and I experienced this fragrance initially over in Milan. It's a new release, and this is by the House of Bon Parfumeur. This is Myrrh Shadows, a Quentin Biche creation, Myrrh Shadows 403. This is absolutely gorgeous, and even if you don't like myrrh, I really think that you should try this fragrance. So the myrrh in here is more vanillic than medicinal and spicy. You do get that bitter orange in the opening, which gives it a little bit of a zest. I think there's frankincense in here as well, or some other spices, or some nutmeg. It is absolutely beautiful. There's something in here called, I think, Cosmone or something like that. To me, this fragrance is really given a clean vibe, but a vanillic, spicy myrrh vibe as well. It is beautiful. It's fresh. It's airy. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I love it, you guys. Let me spray it here. But I wore this a couple times while I was over in Milan because I was switching clothes. You know, sweet, woody, fresh, airy. Myrrh Shadows is really, really good, you all. So get your nose on Myrrh Shadow. It smells like there may be a beautiful floral in here, and it's powdery. I don't know, between this and Iris Cartagena, these two are my favorite from the house. Now, I still love 403, which gives you, it's like an apple, a crisp apple with a vanilla, almost gives you a glaze, an apple fritter type vibe. 403, a beautiful vanilla for the summer. It is stunning. But Myrrh Shadows and Iris Cartagena, 403, get your nose on those. Those are my favorite Bon Parfumeur fragrances. Yeah, all three, okay? Get your nose on them. So the next one we're going to talk about is one that I've been talking about a lot lately, and I love it. And you guys, like I said before, the fragrance on me, my sense of smell, this is a beast, okay? This is juicy pear, pear peach, because it dries down to, I'm getting more peach now, but it dries down to a warm ambery vanillic peach, you know? For some reason, there's I'm picking up a little bit of a resin in this fragrance, or maybe it's the vetiver mixed with everything else. But it is absolutely stunning. The violet in here is the showstopper. The violet with the rose, making it a powdery rose with those zesty, vibrant, juicy fruits that you get all the way through to the end. You all, if you are a rose lover, get your nose on this fragrance. You're going to be obsessed. I already told you guys I have a 100 ml bottle back there. I may give this one to my sister, like I said before, but maybe not. Okay, maybe I'll just buy her own bottle. Anyway, I love Fleur Majesty Rose Royale 31, and the bottle is stunning as well. The next one is Adamo by the House of Adamo, and this is from the Costiera collection. I love Wanelio as well. I kind of debated on which one I should put in here, but to me, Clifton, it's based off of the cliffs in South Africa. South Africa. So there's like a bunch of peach trees apparently near the cliffs of South Africa. They're sweet, they're dripping, they're juicy. So this totally gives you a little bit of a juicy peach in the opening. There's fig in here, so you get a juicy peach, a powdery fig, you get some cardamom, some vanilla, some woods. I think there's some orris in here as well that makes it a little more powdery with the cardamom. But it is absolutely beautiful, a little warm, spicy, but you definitely get a cardamom peach vibe. If you like fragrances like Gris Charnel, just imagine like a slight hint of Gris Charnel with a peach vibe, a little sweeter, a little powdery, because they both have that fig nuance. Then get your nose on Clifton. I'm absolutely obsessed with the Costiera collection, and I cannot wait until Uluwatu comes out because it is beautiful as well, and that is going to be the fourth one from the Costiera collection. Order the Discovery set. I do have a discount code for the Costiera collection. If you order a bottle, I think it's like 20% off or 25. Don't quote me. I'll leave it in the description. And then you get 2 samples for free. But order the Discovery set as well, you guys. It's just like, it's a win-win, okay? So Clifton, Wanelio is more of a musky, powdery, citrusy, pistachio, and dates. It's a win-win. They're both amazing. The next one is one of the sexiest fragrances in my collection, and this is Chris Collins' Lust Eau de Lis. So there's hazelnut. This is the walnut that I've always wanted. This is the best walnut fragrance I do have in my collection. So you have your hazelnut, walnut, you have some orris butter or orris, you have some dark chocolate, which smells like a powdered dusting of cacao. It says a little bit of oud. I'm not picking up. I used to pick up on the oud a little more when I first started smelling this fragrance, but I don't pick up on the oud at all. I think it just gives it a little bit of a warmth and woodiness to this fragrance. So anyway, Chris Collins, Lust Eau de Lis. Get your nose on this. So the next one we're going to talk about is one by the House of Swiss Arabian, and it is not out yet, but I do hope that they bring this to America because it is stunning. It is stunning, okay? There's fig in here, there's praline, vanilla. There's like 1,000 notes in here, y'all, but the fragrance holds a heavier powdery note of incense, dark chocolate, fig. There's some citruses. It's sweet. It is a beast, and it performs like, this is one of, it almost gives me a clean soapy vibe as well. I don't know what they put in this fragrance, but it is absolutely stunning. I think this came out 2025. This right here is one of my favorite finds, or one of my favorite fragrances brought to me of 2025. Incense 01 by Swiss Arabian is hands down amazing. If you know somebody in Dubai and they're coming to the States, have them bring you this fragrance. And I hope that they will share this with the entire world, especially for fall, winter. I wore this over in Milan. I kept getting so many compliments on this fragrance. It is gorgeous. Get your nose on this. Find this wherever you can, y'all. Incense 01. The next one, I don't have room, y'all, okay? The next one is, it's getting warm. You guys, these lights, I have more lights. And when I tell you, I don't have my air, and the lights are lighting me up, okay? They're lighting me up. So this is also one of my favorite houses of 2025. This is Florian Pantier. Okay, Florian Pantier, call him Flo. This is La Serapia. Now, this fragrance only lists 3 notes. It lists strawberry, coffee, and sandalwood. To me, this fragrance is giving a delicious, gorgeous, not overly sweet, but sweet enough, powdery strawberry. It's giving me a beautiful sandalwood, and I'm not sure about the coffee in this fragrance, but you guys know that I love coffee. I love a good coffee fragrance, but to me, I guess if it's giving coffee, it's giving like the most exquisite, expensive strawberry latte with sandalwood, like a almost minimized latte with a coffee, like a little bit of coffee in that latte, but more of like a strawberry powdery milk and a beautiful woody nuance. I'm also picking up a white floral in here as well. It doesn't list it, but the white floral is smooth, it's creamy, maybe a magnolia or something. There's nothing green about this fragrance, but it is absolutely gorgeous and I love it. And you guys, I am getting warm and the bottle is stunning, okay? So probably because I'm getting excited too. So anyway, get your nose on La Serapia by Florian Pontier if you want a beautiful powdery vanillic woody creamy strawberry fragrance. So the next one we're going to talk about, sorry y'all, I'm not going to cut this out either because I want to continue on. I should have one of those fans, okay? Or I should have turned my air on. So anyway, this is Belle de Jour by Christian Dior. This is pear. This is pear ice cream. There's rose in here. There's peach in here as well. This just smells like fairy dust. It literally smells like a princess fragrance, like the prettiest, what you want to wear to a ball or to a tea party or on a girl's day out where you guys are dressing up, wearing a bunch of beautiful floral dresses. It's dainty, it's prissy, it's elegant, it is beautiful. And I don't even know if they sell this anymore, but I'm so glad that I have a big bottle. I remember years ago, like 3 years ago, Abby with Love would talk about this fragrance and the way that she spoke about it, I could not help but to buy the only size bottle that they had, which was this huge one here. But you definitely get like a creamy vanillicness, not necessarily ice cream, but it smells like a vanilla pear with a little bit of sweetness, not like a creamy, super creaminess because it's powdery. But I love Belle de Jour. And if you want to go by the bottle, y'all, this could be signature scent. Every time I wear this, I get compliments. And I get compliments from those women that don't want to work, okay? I get compliments, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, okay? Because sometimes you can be conditioned to work too hard, like me, okay? I got compliments from a couple people at my job that are very prissy, pretty, very, you know, hair done, nails done, makeup. I don't want to touch that, you know. I'm just going to walk as slow as I want to. So those are the kind of people that are giving me these compliments. Just very elegant to women, okay? But I love this as well. It's pretty. It's very pretty. The next one we're going to talk about is... we cannot leave out Guidance. Guidance is absolutely gorgeous. Rose, pear, frankincense, that makes it a little powdery. It's spicy. The almond was the added factor in this fragrance. I think it's called, I keep saying the wrong thing. I've been calling it Gregory Wood for years, but I think it's called Georgie Wood. So the Georgie Wood in here, I absolutely get. It's pretty prominent. Georgie Wood and Rosewood almost gives me the same type of vibe. It's almost a bit of a dry wood to my nose, but I do love that addition of Georgie Wood, you know, to this fragrance, and a beautiful soft powdery airy fruity rose with a little bit of spices. It's a little dark. On the days that I do want to wear Guidance, it's going to be warm, bright, sun's outside. This one is going to be like nighttime, sexy, date night, you know, giving very, you know, mysterious type vibes. I love this Guidance 46. It's 46% oil concentrate, and I cannot wait to get my nose on the new fragrance, Existence. I heard it was more of a musky based fragrance, and yeah, I kind of want some more clean fragrances in my collection, especially if it's from Wash. I'm a bit scared of the aldehydes, but we shall see. I'm a Lily of the Valley lover, so I have so many Lily of the Valley fragrances in my collection that are... Lily of the Valley to me, it's green, it's juicy, it's a bit sharp, it's just a beautiful, fresh, exhilarating floral. So anyway, this is Sphinx. Now this has milk in there. It has whipped cream, but it literally smells like a strawberry milk. This is Egyptian Sugar Soiree. So if you want to smell like strawberry milk tea, then you need to get your nose on Egyptian Sugar Soiree. Strawberry milk vanilla tea, you know, with some fruits inside. It is with strawberries inside, maybe some strawberries, not cherries, but maybe like some red berries, strawberries, and like, you know, or maybe like that frozen shaved ice, you know, with some coconut milk over it. It's creamy coconut strawberries blended, you know, almost into like a milkshake with some additional fruits. This is definitely for the gourmand lover with all of the added coconut milk, coconut, whipped cream. It almost smells like a strawberry swirl vanilla ice cream with coconut as well and added fruits. Definitely fun. For the gourmand lover, I do love wearing this alone. It's powdery, it's creamy, it's sweet, and it's lovely. The next one we're going to talk about is Valaya. Two more, guys, and we're done. So we're going to talk about Valaya. Now, everybody knows I'm not going to talk about Valaya too long. Or did I talk about Valaya first? No, that was over on Instagram. I did a reel on Instagram. So Valaya is Valaya with some white, clean, like fresh, translucent, powdery notes, musk with that same Valaya DNA and some almond. I love the easiness of this one versus the OG. Now, I still love the OG, but I love this one is more because it just gives you more of a fresh, airy, you know, just effortless, carefree vibe. And I can keep spraying this. When I spray the OG Valaya, I actually have to hold my breath because the citruses are so potent. And maybe they use more Akigala wood in that one versus this one here. They gave you more of the almond, powdered almond chips. That's what this smells like to my nose. Like you rub some almond chips together and you stuck your nose in the bag, and there's citruses, there's some woods. It's fresh, it's musk, it's beautiful. Anyway, get your nose on this one if you love the note of almond. Last but not least, it's one that you can find on the market, but you may have a hard time finding it, but I still love it. This is C. Fiore. I remember I bought the big bottle of this and I didn't like it initially. So I was in Ghana and I bought it for like a ridiculously expensive price. I think I paid for the 100 mLs in Ghana. I think I paid $260. Fragrances are so much more expensive over there because of course they have to transport them there. So anyway, I ended up giving it away to my friend Rachel, and then I smelled it again and I was like, oh my gosh, why did I give that away? But I think it was being in the heat over there. It was humid, it was hot, and I literally feel like I really didn't smell anything but powder, you know, and a little bit of patchouli. But of course, when I got back home, I smelled it again, and then I got all the black currant, the patchouli, the powder, the additional florals in this fragrance. It's sweet, it's airy, it's absolutely beautiful, and it's most complimenting. C. Fiore, get your nose on this one if you can find it, but you get that super sweet powdery black currant, and to me, there's patchouli in here, but it's not too patchouli heavy, and I absolutely love it. I think that is it, you guys. So go out to the world, spread amazing sillage, do good, be good, all that good stuff, and let me know, aside from Narciso Rodriguez Poudre, what's one of your favorite powdery fragrances in your collection. All right, love you guys. Bye-bye. And are you interested in this Rose Whip by PHLUR? Because it's good. It's real good, y'all. Real good. All right, bye-bye.